Oh, I'm looking for the camera. Hello. I didn't want anything. I just did it live because when I do recordings on here, it doesn't go through anymore. Um, and sometimes I be wanting to make a video and stuff. So here I am. I've chased 3 chickens this morning. We've gotten out of the chicken area and was walking around. They like to go on these morning strolls, and it's a couple of them. They're a pair of sisters. They're from the same parents, and they're identical. Them two like to get out, walk around. But this morning, Blondie, that's what I call her, Blondie got out. Blondie's our biggest chicken. We didn't know she was going to be the largest. Like, homegirl is big, and she will fight for others' food, and she'll befriend the smaller chickens in order to eat their food and all that kind of stuff. She is slick, but she's so big that usually she can't get herself over a fence. But I looked outside, and there she was walking around trying to get to like peppers and things like that, peppers and tomatoes and stuff like that. She's trying to get into the plants. So I had to come out and get her. Our dog participates in the rounding up of chickens when they get out, and she doesn't hurt them. She's German Shepherd, so she's pretty smart, and she don't hurt nobody. She just runs them down and kind of pins them in a corner of the yard or something like that, like one at a time. There's one that she gonna fly back over every time. Like she's I guess the smartest one. I don't know, because the other ones can't figure out how to fly over and fly back if they get out. But so she flew back over, but her sister was just stuck over here, and she's just always, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I don't know how to get back. But the dog, she doesn't bite them or anything like that. She just pins them in an area and pins them down. And when she gets them, she pretty much just smells them and licks them until you pick them up and put them back over. So I put the first one back over, and then Blondie, when she got her big behind out running around out here, she's not even used to being out here. So I still don't know how homegirl got over that fence. But she nearby had a heart attack with this dog trying to chase her down, and then she just gets in the corner. She gets in the corner and she just give up. She like, all right, that's it. I don't have nothing else to do. So I'm gonna get up in this corner, and she just cool. She's like, ooh, 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 ooh. And she's just like, it's over for my life. This beast is about to eat me. And all the dog does is sniff her and lick her. And I just picked her up. And she's so big, you're afraid you can't really just drop her over the fence. You gotta like extend your arms and lean all the way down and like let her drop to the ground, because she's so big. If you drop her from too high, she might hurt herself. That's why I'm surprised how, as big as she is, how she got over that fence. I don't know how she did that. I don't understand. So that was my morning just now. But I was thinking about a few things. Like I said, it's just me talking, so just understand I'm just talking. I was thinking about a few things, and I wonder about other fellowships. Um, the fellowship that I was a part of for the majority of my 20s. No, for like all my 20s. The fellowship I was a part of, they promoted all of us being able to teach. And they they were adamant, people were adamant about everybody being able to teach. So every Shabbat, it was a different person teaching the lesson. Um, and just all during the week, people were working on their lessons and things like that. And we had a schedule, we had a calendar of people, who's going to bring this lesson, who's going to bring that lesson. And even if you weren't the best teacher, even if you weren't the most knowledgeable, even if you weren't fully able to put it together, you would at least bring, this is what I read in scripture this week, and this is what I learned. This is what stood out to me. Other people would go really in depth about the Hebrew and things like that, and they would say, this is, this, like I said, this is what I learned, and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if the others do that or not. I don't know how other groups of Israelites do it. I don't know if they just are more like the Christian church, and they just sit there and they just listen to this person preach at them, all week, all day, or what? If it's just this one person to give a lesson, or is it just these few people that give a lesson, or is it just these few men specifically that give the lesson and everybody just listens or anything like that? And I don't see how you can, I guess, show that you understood, show yourself proved. I don't know. I don't know. So I always wonder about that. We were taught to teach it. And so this is why, even now in my late 30s, even now in my late 30s, if I'm going to talk about Torah, if I'm going to talk about scripture, like sometimes I am often not the person to just give you a verse and chapter. You know what I mean? I'm just not able to do that. But I just go ahead and I talk about it and I just put it out there, and there it is. It's like the teaching, and the having to create your own lesson teaches you, and the responses from the people that are listening also teach you. And if you were incorrect, people will correct you, and that also teaches you. And so you learn. And so some of this is like, and then hearing other people's lessons and having discussions on those lessons and things like that, it kind of embedded it in here. So it's like it's embedded this information. I don't know how others can get it without having that type of relationship to the situation. um, so that was one thought. We've been really busy. I do have another channel, if you're not aware of that, that I share with my co-wife. Um, it's called the Co-Wives, so just look for the Co-Wives. All right, but look for the Co-Wives, and we got another channel. And that channel we're much more active, but we haven't been active lately because we're really busy. We're really very busy as a family, um, and so it's one of those things we can't find a time, which is why I'm here this morning. In which, as like my last video, I said I had to decide what channel I was gonna do this on, because whatever I'm talking about today don't have nothing to do really with like our family, and it doesn't have anything to do with polygyny or anything like that. I'm just like out here running my mouth. so and so I was like, let me just do that on my channel. My channel is not nearly as active as the other channel at all. And I was like, I can just sit here and chill. And if don't nobody come, that is no problem. I'm just trying to upload my thoughts. So, one thing that I used to do, which I don't really have time for anymore, and I hope in my 40s and maybe even in my 50s, because I'm probably going to be busy in my 40s too. But maybe in my 50s, I can go back to really doing it, is being a doula and midwifery and things like that. Because it's something that greatly interested me from the moment I was pregnant. From the moment I was pregnant, I started researching so much on pregnancy and labor and delivery and being a mother and all is in these babies and stuff like that. And that's when I started learning about being a doula. Um, when I was very young when I got pregnant. My marriage was very early. It's very young. Greetings, patrol, blessings, and shalom. Um, I was really young, and our marriage wasn't very far along before we got pregnant. And we were in Brooklyn, and I sought out a midwife. The midwife that I had is Catherine Tanksley. And if you've ever seen the, what is the name of that documentary? It's a documentary. What is it? The Business of Giving Birth, I think is what it's called. The Business of Giving Birth. She is the midwife in that documentary. So this was before Miss Lady was famous, because she's kind of famous on that because of that documentary. But you talking about one of the best people to like give birth with. I mean, and yes, that was baby number one. So I'm saying that, but and I didn't even get to give birth to her because we ended up moving. We moved down to Texas from New York at the time. Um, but she was there for me the majority of uh, my pregnancy. And you talking about somebody that make you feel like nothing is wrong with your pregnancy. Like if nothing is like if your pregnancy is pretty general, um, and I'm gonna say why I look at it like that. But if your pregnancy is pretty general, mostly textbook, and most of them aren't textbook, but moderately normal pregnancy, like Catherine is going to like speak so much positivity, and I guess you could call blessings onto your pregnancy. You're listening to the heartbeat. And I mean, anytime they would play the heartbeat of my baby, I mean, like, I'd be in another world. Like, I'd be in a world where that heartbeat was the only thing existed. That baby was the only thing existed while we're listening to this baby. And Catherine's in the background, and the lights are low. And she just keeps saying, she's like, this is a perfect pregnancy. This is a perfect baby. You are going to have a perfect delivery. And she's saying it's so soft and cool. And it's like, you're doing this on purpose. I don't know. I didn't think that she was doing it on purpose then. But I would walk out of her office and I'd be on cloud nine, and that's what I'd be thinking as I was walking home, because it is Brooklyn. So as I was walking home, I'm sitting up here on cloud nine. I'm like, she said, I'm having a perfect pregnancy. My baby's gonna be perfect. This is gonna be a perfect delivery. And it was that was amazing. She would just do that, and she just had you feeling great. Her office was great. Her nurses and assistants, they know your name. When you come in there, everybody's talking to you like they know you. They remember stuff from the last time you were there. And so it's just very welcoming. Um, and so, like, if you are in New York, I will still suggest her. Um, the reason that I can see a difference, and the reason I know that she was different, is because when we moved down to Texas, at the time, there weren't really many midwives, and there certainly were no doulas. The nearest midwife was like an hour away, and I didn't want to deal with that. And I didn't want to deal with doctors because Catherine Tanksley also gave classes, classes about labor and delivery, and her classes and everything. It kind of convinced me against doctors and having very hands-on labor experiences and things like that. So, and plus, like, I was basically in love with this woman. I was like, yeah, no, ain't nobody else gonna deliver this baby. And guess what? I have read so much and I have taken so many of her classes and talked to her that all I need is for somebody to go down there and wait, because my body's gonna push this baby out. I just need you to catch it. That's all I need you to do. Okay. so so I was pretty adamant. I didn't want any like doctors. I didn't want anybody else but her. But we were now down in Texas and was not gonna fly all the way back up there for her to deliver this baby. So I went to a clinic, and I went to a clinic with a lot of student doctors, a lot of intern doctors or externships or whatever you call them, whichever one fits the definition there. Um, and what I liked about the practice was that it was majority young black female doctors, and so I was proud of them for that. But otherwise, the one that they kind of stuck me with, like, I think it was, we really wanted Dr. Lee. We really wanted her. Like, we really vibed with her. Me and the husband, we liked her at all a lot. We was like, we want her to deliver this baby. We want her in there on ground zero with us with this baby. and and so that was our mental plan. So when time comes, okay, but they kept giving us somebody else, and I can't remember her last name, but she almost delivered my nephew. And when I saw her, I told my sister, I'm like, no, stay away from that lady, because now she's older. She got her own practice, and I'm like, nah, that lady has terrible bedside manner. So that particular doctor, who again, whose name I can't remember, every time I came for my checkups. If I had this lady, she was nothing like Catherine Tanksley. She was freaked out. Everything was urgent, emergent. Everything was an emergency with your pregnancy. And she have you scared out of your wits. So everybody estimated that my daughter was going to be born at the end of May. And, my husband, he got jokes, right? He's like, if that baby's born at the end of May, that ain't my baby because I was out of town 40 weeks before that. And I'm like, that's just so rude. But anyway, him and my bestie, one of my besties, because there's three, him and my bestie had calculated 40 weeks. And they were like, no, 40 weeks, that's going to put you at like the beginning of June, like kind of almost mid-June, not May 28th, but all the medical sources are saying May 28th, May 28th, May 28th. Okay. So May 28th come and May 28th go. All right. And no baby is to be found. She is still in my belly. This particular doctor, when I go, she's like, so what signs of labor are you having? And I'm like, none. And she's like, you're not having anything at all? I mean, a few Braxton Hicks, but like nothing substantial. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. Like, anything could be happening. Is the baby moving? Yes, the baby is moving. How much is the baby moving? All the time. No, like the baby can't be moving all the time. Baby's inside me. The baby is moving all the time. No. I have to send you upstairs for kick counts. You have to go upstairs and you have to get the kicks counted. And you got to sit up there for 2 hours. We're going to hook you up to a machine and we're going to monitor this baby. And, they have a little thing that you press, a little button that you press. They got something monitoring. They got the thing wrapped around your stomach and they're monitoring the baby. And then they have a button for you to also press. You're going to press that button and you're going to press it every time the baby moves. So I'm like, really? You think something's wrong? Okay, it's my first pregnancy. I don't really know, but the baby's moving like all the time for me. So me and the husband, we go upstairs. They get us strapped up and they explain it. And 15 minutes in, the nurse come in. She like, girl, you can go home. That baby fine. As much movement as that baby's doing, like, please go home. And because I'm just like, this is me. Boop, 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 boop. Because this is a very active baby. So we go home. And it was many days past the 28th. And we've tried everything. I've tried everything that I can think of, minus castor oil, because I just really was not going to go there to get this baby to come down. We have walked and walked and walked, and I've been so tired. And we ate spicy food and all this kind of stuff that I read and trying to get this baby to come out. No luck. And I just felt like my skin was stretched to capacity. So I came to my husband and I was like, babe, because by then the clinic has said, whenever y'all ready, like if you want to be induced, like we'll induce. And I was against it because once again, Catherine Tanksley. But the fact that the offer was on the table kind of swayed me. And I was so tired. I was so big. I was tired of this being in my belly, moving around and kicking and punching and all this kind of stuff that I'm not getting any sleep, can't eat nothing. I can barely pee because like all my babies sit on my bladder and they sit on it on a way that they like sit in the middle. So like most of the pee is behind their head and the rest of it, you know what I mean? It's just a little bit coming out in the front. So it's just terrible. And I'm like, I'm just ready to be done. So, we get induced. The Pitocin that they give you made my contractions like ridiculous. And this is my first baby. It's not my best friend's, plural, first babies. They had their babies a few years before I got pregnant. And all of them in my room, okay? So they're in my room, and my longest running homeboys are also in my room, and my mom's in my room, and my sister's in my room, and of course my husband is also in the room. So but we was lucky, and the doctors was lucky, they gave me a really big room and I didn't have to share it with nobody or anything like that. I don't know how we got that big room. I don't understand how insurance related to that. We had this big old room, so everybody fit. They had a huge couch that rolled out, and the besties sleeping on this couch and everything. So we just laughing, we having a good time all night. But the Pitocin is making these contractions absolutely terrible. Um, so, oh, and by the way, we don't ever know the gender of our children before they are born. Every time we've been asked for something like that, we have told them no. Uh, no thanks. And we just let that baby come out and be whoever they gonna be. So boy or girl, whoever. And being that we're Israelite, and being that, and like I said, the whole time in our 20s, we were in this fellowship, we also had a thing about not naming that child until you saw that child. And really, the husband named the children, and he don't give out that name until like day 8. So nobody's gonna know. My stuff is gonna say baby last name. That's it. Baby Jones. That's it. Baby girl Jones, baby boy Jones, whatever. So y'all see that? Here come the sun, and it's so hot here that I'm gonna have to run away from this here sun real soon. So everybody was there. Hey, you ready? Okay, we gotta go. So that's I'm gonna go. But everybody was there to see the delivery of my child. Everybody, even my sister, said she wasn't gonna be out there because she was like, "Nah, I can't do it." She's older than me, but she had never had kids before. She was like, "I'm not gonna watch this nightmare come apart." Everybody except the guys. The guys went home that morning, and a couple of hours later, I'm sitting up here pushing out a child, and we're all screaming because this baby is coming out. But it turned out to be a girl, and it was not a good experience because of that doctor. And maybe I'll come back to that conversation, but she is the one that ended the one with the bad bedside manner is the one that ended up delivering my child. Boy, that was just terrible. So shalom, I got to go on with my day, and maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Peace out. If I can turn it off. Okay, there we go, I found it. Come on.